Welcome back. This is Theory 4, Video 7, the second of two videos on texture in music since 1900. In this video, we will discuss only two concepts, pointillism and sound mass. These two techniques are very much opposite of each other. Pointillism is a style in which a composer uses a very sparse texture with short notes, a lot of silence, meaning rests, and often the music is very disjunct, which means it leaps a lot, and those leaps are usually very wide. The effect of all this is that the pitches sound like these little points of light that seem to emerge from nowhere. And this style is often associated with atonal music, but it doesn't have to be. If you know the choral composer Arvo Pärt, he uses pointillism a lot, but often with diatonic and modal scales. Pointillism is also a style of painting. George Seurat's painting Sunday Afternoon on the Island of Grand Jatte is a great example of this. You probably know this painting, and you might know that it is the inspiration for Stephen Sondheim's musical Sunday in the Park with George. Here's a detail from that painting. If you look closely, you can see that the colors are made up of very small dots that blend together when you back away from them. For example, if you look at the hand holding the flowers, you'll see red and blue and yellow and green that sort of create this illusion to make the color of the hand, the flesh color. So if you can't see this in the video, do an image search on it and look a little more closely. On the next page, we'll take a look at the whole painting. Okay, can you find the flower detail that we just looked at? Here it is. Pointillism was typical of the style of Anton Webern, an early 20th century atonal composer who was a student of Arnold Schoenberg. Webern's works are very pointillistic and often very short. Notice especially the large leaps in the voice part. And as always, keep an eye on the clef changes in the piano. There are a lot of them because Webern's music tends to leap a lot. And again, that's an important feature of this style. By the way, you heard it here first, I will give an extra credit point on your lowest quiz grade to the first person who emails me and tells me how Webern died. And you have to use your own words. Don't just copy and paste it from the internet. This is an excerpt from a song by Anton Webern, Das dunkle Herz, in English, The Dark Heart. Sound mass is exactly what it sounds like, composing with dense blocks of sound. It is the textural opposite of pointillism, and it often involves clusters and indeterminacy. And that means that exact choices are left to the performer, and the score simply provides guidelines for those choices. For example, a composer might indicate to a group of performers that they are to fill in the distance between 2 points with as many pitches as possible, including microtones and all the sounds that exist between those two notes. This results in a non-traditional graphic notation, and we'll see some of that in a moment. Krzysztof Penderecki was a Polish composer, and we are going to look at what is probably his most famous work, the Threnody for the Victims of Hiroshima. It is written for 52 string instruments, and they often have separate parts, which is why he doesn't just say string orchestra. The score is written completely in graphic notation. And we'll take a look at the score, and then I'm going to have you listen to this on a video with an annotated score after this video. As it turns out, Penderecki just passed away last week on March 29th. So on the next slide, I've included an excerpt from his obituary in the New York Times. If you want to read the whole thing, I've linked it on the transition page under this assignment. And you should. This man had a very interesting life, and his music influenced everything from film scores to Radiohead. Just read it. So here's an excerpt from that obituary. Go ahead and pause the video, read this, and resume when you're ready to move on. Or like I said, you can just go to the link on the transition page and read the whole thing. Here are performance notes from the preface to the score of the Threnody for the Victims of Hiroshima. As I said, the piece is in graphic notation, so this is where he explains what the string players are supposed to do when they see each symbol. Again, pause the video, read this, and then move on when you're ready. Here's the beginning of the score. Remember that the dark triangles mean to play the highest note you can, and keep in mind this will be different for everyone. The wavy lines near the end of the system mean to play with different levels of vibrato. For example, the violins have a wider, slower vibrato than the violas do. Along the bottom of the score, the time is measured in seconds, and the conductor cues each change using a stopwatch or some kind of a timer. Continuing to the second page of the score, here you see some of the graphic symbols that were in the preface, playing pizzicato on the highest note, playing behind the bridge, using the wood side of the bow, etc. The result is a very percussive effect, and I won't play this piece in this video because there's a very good video with an annotated score that you can follow along with that I've put on the playlist directly after this. I will also add a video of a performance, and string players especially, you might be interested in watching this and seeing how these sounds are made. I must tell you that this is not an easy piece to listen to, and here's a fun fact. Parts of this piece and other works by Penderecki were used in the movie The Shining, and it's perfect music for a horror movie. It is dissonant, it is strident, and it is kind of disturbing. Consider the title, but, by the way, Penderecki only named the piece after hearing it for the first time. And that's when he decided that it sounded like it described the horrors of an atomic bomb. But listen to it and watch the score as it goes by and try to observe the structure and the architecture of this piece. It's a completely different way to think about composing, and it was absolutely groundbreaking in 1960. One final warning, the beginning is very loud, and so please take care if you're using headphones. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Up next, please do watch the Penderecki Threnody video with the annotated score and follow along. I will also include a performance video of the same piece. After that, we have one more video, video number 8 on rhythm, and then quiz number 3, which is our last quiz. Thanks for staying with me, everybody. Take care, be safe, and I miss you lots. Bye.